no permission, but I'm so indebted to this game that I love, and most of all to the man above. Now check me out, now it's just that Fridays we're serving.
Wet weather squarely in the forecast this afternoon in Santa Clara, California at Levi's Stadium. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Houston Texans and the San Francisco 49ers. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Lance going to put it up right away. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lance. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, CD, these two teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick 6 to take the lead.
Partner, you'd have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I would say their plan worked to perfection.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the side. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's got room. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
They'll run on first down. Farrell, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The Niners at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. The Lance going to throw. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Christian Harris. And the Texans force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
And, partner, I think this is what long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
On first down, they'll start out with Price. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
From the 29, Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Price. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, for all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
And boy, that was something to watch, wasn't it? How about the way these guys came out here in the first quarter? They really put their stamp on this game early with their play calls, and they certainly look good so far.
They'll run it for the first time with Dameon Pierce. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
A 1 yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1 yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1 yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
Play action. Now Jackson. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson. You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the 49ers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, I appreciate the aggressiveness trying to go for it there on 4th down, but you're in the red zone, had 3 points in your back pocket. Instead, Charles, they throw it away.
Certainly a big call to go for it on 4th down. As you said, in the red zone, definitely going to cost them 3 points, and we'll see how that affects the game as time goes on.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Shot 17. Black shot.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Fielded at the 33. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So
Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dameon Pierce, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans take a 3-touchdown lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Niners take over first down 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Ready.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Here's Lance to throw it.
Man open, that's Deebo Samuel.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Ready, set.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Texans will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Hold on, ready? Hey, report! Report!
Now Jackson on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Price. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. He knows winning this game.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37.
Better ball security, but not much else to show for it.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Jackson now. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. They'll run on 1st down with Price.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. And they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. Well, they got the turnover and were able to drive it down, Charles, but ultimately in the end, the defense holds up, and they only come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of ground, but when they had to, they settled in and prevented the interception from leading to 6 points. Because you never want to see turnovers turn into any type of points against you. But better to give up 3 than 6.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. 1 second, all that remains.
Right blue. Ready?
A final shot before half for Lance.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A run by Pierce begins the second half. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
A give up the middle to Price. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On second down, a run with Price. And the ball is knocked out. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Another run with McCaffrey on second down. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking of future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability, and that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official. Throwing is Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Ambry Thomas.
And the Niners are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
From the 35 on second down, Jackson. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Juwan Johnson, 35 yards. And the Texans have opened the lead up to 30. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
To throw, it's Lance.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
And they'll go for it. Lance.
And now here is another interception.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Jackson, his third touchdown of the game, 10th on the year.
And the Texans are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit, because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here's Lance.
Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
Desperation time here. Lance.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
No reason not to try it there. And they do indeed convert on 4th. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. A handoff left, McCaffrey. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
10 cycles.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd.
On play action, Lance. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11.
From midfield, here's Lance.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
Set, ready. Right, white. Red, cycle. Strike, check, strike.
Lance to throw for it on 4th down. Got his target, Samuel. And he is going to have the Niners first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Yellow. Claws red. Ready.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
And my goodness, another interception.
Jalen Petrie picks it off, and the Texans force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
They're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion. I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
And Lance now to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Shotgun handoff down to McCaffrey. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Blaster, 6. Ready.
Lance looking to throw it. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here we go. Black shot. Quick, yellow. Real green. Ready?
Lance and company going on 4th down.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Hand off left side, Pierce. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Pierce.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Price.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Caught left side by Mechie.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Price.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for